Hi everyone, Matt Martin with Flawless Enterprises. I am the CEO over here. I'm also the Executive Director of Spectrum A&E Media. We work with independent media groups, entertainers throughout the world. Today we are on a live Google Hangout with the producers of the Coeds. It's a new web series that is launching their first season tomorrow. I have on screen with us today, we have Zoe Tamara and Viviana Vargas. They are the producers. Say hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
nice to meet you all.
Hey. So what we're going to do today, we do have season 1 launching tomorrow. We'll have those videos out on the website, www.the-coeds.com. Please don't forget that dash. It is super important in order to get to the right website. So again, that is www.the-coeds.com. And Zoe and Viviana have been working on the series. It's about a year now, right, ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah, getting everything in production. And we have the trailer and the pilot episode live on the website right now. Tomorrow, episode 1 will launch. And the premise of the web series is it's basically 3 college girls, 3 college freshmen at the University of Boston, and it's a comedy series. It's a look from the female perspective of what it's really like to be a girl for the first time on a college campus. Any of us that have ever been through that experience know that it can be absolutely insane, a little bit crazy, and a whole lot of fun.
Definitely.
So,
Absolutely, yeah.
right. And I have seen some sneak peeks, so it's really real to me. I definitely, I've got tons of female friends who are in college now and that went through college with me, and it definitely looks pretty accurate from my perspective. But I want to go, Viviana, you want to give us a basic synopsis, a general overview of the Coeds from your perspective?
Sure. So the whole series and idea started with 3 of us, Zoe, Rachel, and I, the other actress in the show. It was our real friendship. The idea is to make this show started from a text message conversation we had that included all these, funny dialogues and stories and random,
Crazy things that happen.
combobulations of all these conversations, basically, and adventures we've been having over freshman year. And so we realized we wanted to make art out of this. We were going through our freshman year in theater school and discovering what it means to be an artist and where our place in the world is, and we decided that we needed to do something about this. We thought we also were interested in the comedy aspect of it because I think not only was it really funny for us to have to live through some of these situations and stories, but it was just it's the comedy of life, as Zoe put it once, and we really wanted to share that with everyone else and have other college women, anyone who's really young and trying to grow up in this world to laugh with us and but at the same time kind of like agree with us and just really be with us in the moment right now. And we went for the web series model because I think it's perfect for our audience going, study breaks. You can check out a 8-minute clip, 8-minute webisode, and just laugh a little, get back to your schoolwork, come back next week for the next one, and just enjoy the co-eds, be a co-ed.
Fantastic. So tell us, Zoe, a little bit more in depth about the characters themselves, because I know anyone going to the website, they see that you have the same name. Is it basically your personal life stories, or are these characters going to give us something that maybe you haven't experienced, but it's in the realm of possibility?
Yeah, it's not a documentary of us going through freshman year all over again. But we just retained our names just simply because, we wanted to take a piece of ourselves into the show. And just that was a personal choice that we made. But I think really when we went through the development phase of this, we made the conscious decision to separate the characters from our own individual selves. So the Zoe that I play in the show is not exactly who I am in real life, and likewise goes for the Viviana in the show and the Rachel in the show, and we all do have different last names. So I think that helped to create a different path a little bit. But exactly, yeah, exactly. So we have Viviana in the show is, the good girl with a little bit of a wild streak from, uptight parents in Connecticut. Zoe's from the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, who's, again, she's like the crazy one. And then Rachel's, the hippie from California who comes to Boston and is dropped off in a different universe pretty much. And then they all find each other, and it's a very relatable story, I think, about just finding your friends and living the craziness that's college. So there's a piece of us just in slightly altered situations and altered people, but I think that's what makes it so relatable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of our goals for this release, one of the goals was to make it more, make the definitive characters, the characters more defined. Yeah.
Yeah.
As separate people, because our first pilot, which was a year ago, yeah, we created it. The characters were meant to be a group, all one, kind of the Coeds, and we found that because they were so similar, and because that's what we were trying to do, is we were trying to create like this group of girls that would go through these, crazy adventures together. But then we realized it would be more interesting to have them have different things that they go through and different personalities, because there is that sense of, how people are different but still agree on the same values.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I guess it would be hard to take a series that it's intimate. You said you began the series based on conversations that you were actually having, real life experiences that you were actually having. So it would be impossible to separate them entirely. But again, the girls aren't necessarily bound to your personalities or to your, they're not necessarily theater students either. They're going to go on with their own adventures. What can we really expect to see this season as the episodes progress?
Ooh. You can expect a lot of different twists and turns, a lot of jaw droppers, a lot of things that are maybe going to make you cringe that you probably wouldn't want to watch with anyone else around.
Surprise.
Yeah, just a lot of things that if you've already gone through college, you're going to be like, oh, damn, I remember that moment. And if you haven't, if you're still going through it or just about to, I think it'll make you either excited or very worried for what's about to come.
Or maybe, you've heard a story about one of your friends going through something similar. That was one thing that we really like to incorporate, kind of things that didn't happen to us exactly, but that we've heard have happened to a lot of students.
Right.
I don't really want to give anything away.
Yeah. For me, that's the fun part, is like knowing what parts from our lives and then having people have to guess.
Like, did you actually?
Right? Yeah, we had a lot of questions. A lot of people asked if we actually went to jail, and I'll leave that.
Leave that for when you can see.
Don't answer. Leave that as the conundrum. Right on. So, ladies, Rachel, she is the third of the Three Musketeers in this story, and she, the actress Rachel Donahue, she plays a special role in this. She's actually a musician as well, and you guys have some original music on the series, correct?
We do, yes. She's actually our roommate also in real life, and so we're definitely close. And she writes and records her own music, and so it absolutely, I think, fits with the theme. It's kind of this spunky, electronic. Oh gosh.
Sometimes rap. She adds in a little.
A little bit of rap.
Yeah, and it's also the topics of what she's talking about. They're very much college-esque kind of
Oh,
things. The
absolutely.
main song that we like to use is called Bong Hits, and that was like one of the first song we really saw that fit really well for our um,
So for me,
series.
it just made sense. It's like it's good music, it's fun, it fits in, as much as we like to, as much as possible, incorporate other young up and coming artists. Got to
Mhm.
help each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. And actually, if when folks go to the website, we do have some of that music live in the playlist. It'll automatically start playing that vodka sips and bong hits, and it's kind of catchy. Yeah, it'll get stuck in your head if you listen to it too long. But definitely, folks can go to the website, and that again is www.the-coeds.com, and y'all can hear some of Rachel's music. Um, the other thing, this series is more just than just about comedy. You had just mentioned helping other young artists out, especially in terms of using Rachel's music in the show. But there's something behind this web series. You guys are young women becoming active in a very male-dominated field, motion picture production, film production. It's very much male-dominated. There's been a lot of media around that issue, and you guys are stepping to the forefront. Even in your college years, and taking a stance on making sure that women have a place in your industry. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so there's kind of two parts to that problem is that, there's the women who are lacking in the actual creation of the film projects and artistry, and then there's also the roles that are offered for women that are lacking, and they kind of like go in parallel with each other. So I think with our web series, what's cool is that we're doing both. We're offering really interesting, dynamic roles for women in, the spotlight, and at the same time, we're also making it by women and kind of for women. So that's where, yeah.
I think it's important to share our story as people in the world. I think it's a valid experience, women in college, that it's a story that just doesn't really get told much. You think of all the famous college movies, and it's like college frat boys and you know the likes of that. So yeah, that's really what it came down to was this is my story. I think it's important and it needs to be told. And like, yeah, it's really funny, but I think life is pretty funny. So I think it makes me feel really good though that we're starting off at this age, getting our work out there, and yeah, taking a stand and following the trend of others that came before us that said, hey, we're women, we're telling our fucking story, and it's gonna be great, and hopefully we're gonna help pave the way for others and many more to come.
Fantastic. So there really is that correlation there as well. You're telling a story about women, and the women's story doesn't often get told. And you're right. I can think of probably a dozen frat movies here, just off the top of my head, but the woman's story doesn't get told. And one of the things that I really do applaud you ladies on, from the pieces that I have seen of this already, is it may be a made up script, but it is a real story. It's not the teenage girl falls in love and destroys her life or gets pregnant, and that all may happen, but it's not the same traditional story. You're telling a hardcore story, and college was pretty hardcore in my world, so I really applaud you ladies for that. You've done a fantastic job.
I also
Thank
think
you.
it's important that, we're college students playing actual college students, and it's not like we're, 25, 30 playing like 18-year-olds.
Luke Perry is
It's
not
like
playing
it's
a
an
girl
important
who's
thing
40.
in the moment, and we're actually, playing people that we would actually be, and it's just I think that's another thing about these college movies that we see. They're kind of like dramatized and made into cinema and made into like what it might be vaguely, but then we're actually trying to like make it specific and actually using sites around Boston that offered real college life experience. Another important thing about doing college is a story about college is that we are in Boston, and Boston is one of the college cities of the world.
Absolutely.
So there's so many people here who can really relate to our experience and our story.
Yeah, we've got a lot of love for Boston.
Absolutely. The authenticity, I guess, is the word that I was looking for earlier. It's fantastic. It is completely and totally a real scenario that people are going to relate to. And I really do applaud you guys for what you've been able to do, and for keeping it real. It is very, very realistic, and folks are telling you, if you haven't checked it out yet, again, that website is www.the-coeds.com, and on the website, you guys can check out more media from the behind the scenes. They've got bloopers reels. They do have the new and improved pilot as well as a trailer for the series. And tomorrow, you guys will be able to check out live on the website as well as vimeo.com/thecoeds. The episode 1. Ladies, is there anything else you guys want to add in here before we check out for the evening?
Yeah, I mean, we're just so excited that it's finally happening.
Yeah.
We're finally ready to release, and yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for people to watch it. I'm even more excited for people to talk back, give us some commentary, tell us what you think. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Check in
Thank
every
you.
week, every Wednesday for a new episode.
And thank you so much. Mwah.
Thank you, ladies, so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, see you. Bye.